Hello, how's it going? We're Warp. The song's called the Triad Song.
Catch you at the speed. Song right there.
Alright. String just broke, so we'll just see how that goes. This next song is called Phunk with the PH.
Phunk.
So get ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. The high so low. You'll shine when the sky don't show. Need a little light just to grow. Need a little fight in your mom's whole world, and it's in my hands. Some say fake, some say chance. To the same me, ripped jeans, new bands, and I'm still trying to change all the things I can't. Goddamn, whole world, and it's in my hands. It's all part of the plan. I know that the world's so cold. Cause I don't mind me. Give me brain until I'm mindless. I fuck myself so I can find me. But the world's so cold. Oh no. I know.
This song's called Olive.
Yeah. Dropping on my back, I take it to the grave. I work too hard to be a fucking slave. I did my time and I won out. I'm way too hard to drown. Yeah, yeah. I run like athletes. Too hard to catch me. Where the grass is green. Where the grass is green. Just scream my name. I dream in pain. I'm dropping on my back to the grave. I work too hard to be a fucking slave. I did my time and I won out. I'm way too hard to drown. I'm way too hard right now. Dropping on my back, I take it to the grave. I work too hard to be a fucking slave. Just scream my name. Just scream my name. Just scream my name.
Did I do that right? Shout out to you, my man. The song's called Underbarrel.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. things we used to do, they have got to come from you. And that's the truth up in this world. They said truth's up in this world.
Okay, quick intro to this one. We were writing the songs a lot the first semester, a little bit, just hanging out, and we found out that one of our mutual influences was the Reverend James Brown, and if you've ever watched him perform live, you know that he's very animated on stage, so this is a tribute to that man. And I think you'll figure out what the song's called pretty fast. Next song's called Hike Up Your Kilt.
I like it. trying to chase me, you'll be trying to change your mazes. Rock bottom gives a solid foundation. Gives a solid foundation. Gives a solid foundation. Wild and free, you're out of reach of my conscience. Got this body full of toxins. I take my demons and the monster. Lately I'm just being honest. Yeah, moving right around till it's shining like a diamond. Break my heart 'cause I don't mind it. Give me brain until it's mindless. Rock bottom, solid foundation. Just a solid foundation. Rock bottom, solid foundation. Solid foundation. Just a solid foundation. Now I'm waiting. Just a solid foundation. What's up? This song's called Piss Safari because sometimes when you're out having a beer with your friends, you really gotta go to the bathroom, but all the bathrooms are taken. And that's our dumbass idea that we made up for this song. So here we go. Good. This song's called Balrog.
song's called Kitchen King. The song's called 1 Inch Punch. It's awesome. Do it. Do it, Andy.
This song, old classic. It's a lot of rage, and I've been waiting to do this since I started with this band. So I'll let the music do the talking.
crosses. Some of those that hold office are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that hold office are the same that burn crosses. Killing in the name of. Killing in the name of. Now you do what they told you. 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 Those who die, justified. Those who way that he chose your wife, justified. Those who die, those who way that he chose your wife, justified. Those who die, those who way that he chose your wife, justified. Those who die, those who way that he chose your wife. Some of those that hold office are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that hold office are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that hold office are the same that burn crosses. Killing in the name of. Killing in the name of. Now you do what they told you. 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 Now you do what they told you.
Hi guys, hi, Warp.
Hello.
We're here. You know, I guess we should start off by saying, who the hell are you guys? You know.
Well, my name is Jack Tekka, and I play rhythm guitar.
My name is Michael Boston, and I'm lead vocals.
I'm Ryan Hartland, and I play lead guitar. Andy Brunson, bass.
Reed Dobo, percussion.
So, yeah.
In case you didn't know.
So, how did the name Warp come to be?
Well, I was in my Finance 3000 class with Scott Wright, and we had been jamming for a while, and we were just kind of getting the early stages of what Warp was going to be, and I was just, like, thinking of, like, because I was really into doom metal at the time, so it was all about, like, Sleep and Black Sabbath, and, like, I wanted to get, like, an interesting blend of that as well as all the genres we were trying to blend at the same time. It actually started out as Warpaw. It was WARPPAW. And then I was writing it down on a piece of paper, and I was just like, what about Warp? So shout out to Finance 3000 Doodles. So that's what happened.
So, yeah, how did you guys all come together to form the band Warp?
So it really started as Jack and I just in the combo. We were jamming. I heard him play his guitar one day. I was like, "Hey, I play guitar," and I just happened to live above him. So that's really started. And then Reed was also there with us, and he started using his. I think he had a I had a djembe at the time, so I had a drum, and that's really what started that. From there, we needed a bass player, so we brought Andy in, and we were playing with Palmer Bowman for a while. He ended up graduating. We brought on Darwin, and that's the history of it.
Shout out to Palmer Bowman. You a real one. If you hear this, you're the shit.
Love you, man.
How long have you guys been around?
It's fresh. It's fresh. I came to this group later than its inception. Is that the right word? I don't fucking. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I was the new guy. I felt like I was the new guy for a while, and now it really feels like family. Not gonna lie. Yeah, but it still feels like, what's it been like 2 years? Yeah, that's about it. But yeah.
So being a new band, just 2 years old, and COVID making everything hard for musicians, how have you guys reckoned with all that and still being a band?
Sure, thank you. I would say that, it started 2 years ago, as we mentioned, but, as of late, it's kind of just been actually using my bedroom in our house on East State Street. It's huge. We just set up the drums, and we get all the guitars, and have a small little, amp for Darwin, and it's worked pretty well so far. We're just trying to stay fresh, and when Nate contacted us to play LobsterFest, it was kind of more of like a reunion for us. It was more of like the way to get back to it, and who knows where we'll go from here, but it was definitely fun, in the process. So couldn't be more grateful.
Yeah, COVID really messed us up there. Took us off our. We were on a roll last year.
We were playing a lot. We were playing a lot of shows.
We had like 9 shows canceled. Can this pick that up?
Yeah, it's picking up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to answer this question. But we had a bunch of fest shows lined up for the spring, and the three of us, me, Brunson, and Ryan, came down to hang out for spring break, and we were driving back, and they were like, "Oh, they're closing all bars and restaurants," and we were like, "Holy shit! What is gonna happen now?" So we've just kind of been hanging out for a while, just keeping it fresh.
So you guys said on stage that James Brown was a big influence.
Yeah.
What are your influences?
My influences, like I mentioned earlier, I really do like James Brown, because have you ever seen that interview of him on the news?
Oh yeah.
Where that's my favorite shit ever. It makes me laugh every time. But yeah, he's like, living in America. Not even related to the question, but definitely love Sleep, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, anything heavy. That's why I like the back end of our set a lot, because we really get to bring the energy.
Yeah, a lot of my influences come from mainly rap music, and when I started with this band, as the former singer had graduated, it was really a change for me, and just to get out of my comfort zone and do something different. So that's something I'm really grateful for, that I've had the opportunity to get with these guys.
I would say, touching on that, specifically mine would be probably Van Halen, Metallica, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, more kind of the alternative, kind of heavier stuff with Jack. But I think the point that really makes Warp too, when you're asking about influences, is everything that makes up this band, because I think that's what makes it unique. It's the competitive advantage that we like to think of, because we took so much time crafting a whole bunch of sounds together. And to me personally, that's what the word warp means, is a warp of everything that we've put together.
Shout out George Benson, Wes Montgomery, and Miles Davis. Some of my favorite guitar players I really took a lot from was SRV, Guthrie Govan, Tosin Abasi, and then Randy Rhoads was big when I was growing up. Just that's what got me into the shredding side, and then Jason Becker on top of that with the sweep picking.
So I wanted to ask, how would you describe your sound to somebody who doesn't know what warp is?
I would say funkier. I think we like to say we're the blend of everything and whatever, but I feel like it's on the funkier side. I would say.
There's pockets.
Mm-hmm. Heavy funk rock, maybe.
We
transition through the sets. We usually started a little bit lighter, and by the end, we have the metal influence really come out.
Yeah, we cover like a range for sure, like over that time. But
Clusterfuck is how I would describe it.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I was listening to the the beginning, and I was like, okay, little black keys in there. I was like, this is a lot of fun. And then Killing in the Name Of comes out, and I'm like, this is crazy. I was yeah, that was amazing. So out of your 3 singles that are on Apple Music right now, Portland, Icarus, and Underbarrel, which one is your favorite and why?
I like Underbarrel the best because like it was one of the first songs we ever like. We were sitting there one day. It was like our 3rd day jamming, and like we had these 2 pieces together, and like something like hit us to like play them both back to back, and we just like sat there for a second. We were like, oh, okay, like we got something going on, and Coach Palmer's vocals rip on that shit, so that's fine.
Yeah, initially for me, because I was with these guys in the combo when they started the band, I've always kind of been around and seen what was going on. And initially, I loved Icarus because that was like the very first song that I had heard from them, and I was like, oh, this is great. But as I got into the band and started like singing their songs, it became Underbarrel just for like the passion in the previous singer's lyrics. I think that's great.
I would have to say, especially Underbarrel for me personally, because I remember when me, Ryan, and Jack actually, the first week before junior year started, we all kind of just like met down at school for a week to hammer out everything that we had originally to start. And I'll never forget just sweating my ass off for probably 6 hours, seven days a week, playing Underbarrel until it was absolutely correct. And I'm like, run it again. Here we go. So I'm just like, here we go. And honestly, I couldn't be more happier with how it turned out.
I think out of those 3, Icarus has always been my favorite because I remember the first time I heard Ryan rip his solo on it, and I nearly shit my pants. And yeah, so that's always been. Ever since I've heard that, every time since then that I've heard you play that solo, I've continued to shit my pants every time. So that's definitely my favorite.
Oh, you're too nice. Too nice. I got to go with Portland just because it started originally, it was like a day that I studied for like 7 hours straight and was just beat. And then all of a sudden that progression came, but it started as like a soft jazz chord melody, but really transitioned to what it was. And then once we started layering everything up, I added in some of the drop 2 chords, and that part's really unique. Just, I don't know, I kind of just wanted to have those chords in there, and it became real.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to go with Underbarrel personally. Shout out to that song. It's freaking killer. So, tell me about your music making process. Like to get a song together. How does that work between all 5 of you?
So really, it's more like someone just brings a riff together and into it. Like 1 Inch Punch was a riff that Andy wrote, and it just turned into what it was. And it doesn't take long, but a lot of it starts as that, or just us jamming, just super organic, going through the motions of us stopping and thinking, and it just is the band communicating through the instruments.
I would say also, like, going into this, I kind of expected to some degree for there to be a lot of like calculating what we're going to play, just because that's like how I go about it when I'm making my own stuff, I feel like. But like it is the most uncalculated, like we just do it, and that's what I like about it for sure. Anyone?
Yeah, just like they were saying, it goes mostly jamming. Someone just brings it, and we usually just have a couple beers and try to hammer it out.
So, I wanted to ask, what is the most rewarding part to you guys of being a musician in the local Athens scene?
Dude, playing shows. Dude, I miss playing shows so bad. So bad. Like, there has been some moments just like playing house shows or whatever that like I couldn't even believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of second that because like pre-COVID, like they said, I mean, before I still have my own kind of solo gig that I do, and just doing like a house show and a party with God knows what's going on, but you have to focus on the music somehow. Yeah, there's not a feeling like it. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I would say too that speaking of like house shows, I remember there was one in particular. There was Dad's Weekend junior year, and Darwin opened up before us, and then we came on, and that backyard was probably like 300 people deep, and I was just like, oh my fucking god. I was like, wow. And I'll just to say, like, personally too, like, even, I mean, Athens, anywhere, it doesn't really matter for me. Like, playing music is kind of like the heart and soul of, like, my hobby, like what I like to do. I mean, besides other things, but I would also say, like, the energy that it brings, there's nothing like it, like, at least that I've experienced yet. And, you know, hopefully I won't experience anything more fun, but I mean, that was amazing. So,
Yeah, I feel really grateful to have the opportunity just to, you know, to learn how to like just express myself musically in this group, you know, and how that, I don't know, that something happens there, you know, when we're all on stage. I don't know. I'm just bullshitting now. That fell. I don't know. Yeah, expressing myself. That's what it is.
Mosh pits a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
when you're in one, it's one thing, but when you make it happen,
Yeah.
that's just insane, bro. Awesome. Really different.
Yeah. Do you guys have a favorite show that you played, or like any shenanigans that you could highlight?
I was just talking about one. That dad's weekend, dude. This dad's weekend show was insane. So there's just a bunch of people there. There's no security line. He's about from me to you. Crowd's about from me to you. And I have a rambunctious cousin named Nate Vassilotti that was mosh pitting very early in the set because he had a few drinks, and his buddy kind of like came behind me on the thing and like almost booted my amp over. So I did some Bruce Lee shit, like kind of kept playing, swung him around, and then kicked him back into the mosh pit. So I just kind of did that, and I was like, did that just happen? Like, okay, cool.
yeah, we had this other show off Lancaster, and it was super cool area because we were like below, and it was like it was on a hill, so everybody was above us. So the energy was really feeding, and then like in the back corner, there's just like 2 fires that people are jumping over, which like was definitely dangerous. But like it was so just to be in that setting, and just we played with a sweet band called Water Witches too. That just sounded incredible.
Ethan played guitar with a dildo. It was awesome.
I don't know. I was gonna say the union show is really fun. Like the house parties have that element of like, you know, chaos that makes it super fun. But when we played at the union, it was like, wow, we're really like playing somewhere on a stage. Yeah, what the hell's happening? Yeah. You got anything?
I just say Dad's Weekend.
Yeah,
sure.
I forgot about that one. That was a fun one. Jesus.
Shout out to the dads.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this one's going to be a little bit more deeper, I guess. There's a reason you guys first picked up an instrument or started singing or started playing the drums. What inspired you guys to be creative?
Anger.
I can tell.
But also just like the having something to do. Like, cause like I was super disciplined with my like practicing. Like I had a structured practice routine for like 4 years that was jazz focused, and like having that to just focus on for like an hour, 3-4 hours a day really just got me into it. And then once people started reciprocating just like the hard work and it paid off, it fuels you.
I just chased the pocket most of the time. Like, ever since we first started clicking on that, like, I'm just like trying to find that again for the most part.
Yeah, there's nothing that makes me feel like music feels, and I just feel like it's right. Like it fits, and then I don't want to do anything else. Like,
Yeah, sure. Why are any of us here? You know?
I would say, like, for me, too, excuse me, like, all of high school was, like, Metallica, and, like, I mentioned, like, Nirvana, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, like, any of it. It started, I was chasing the riff, but a good example of how much it's, like, changed since then is probably, like, now I just listen to, like, lyrics, and then on top of it, it's, like, a bonus, because then you hear, like, you know, really cool riff or something that sounds cool in your ear, and you blend it all together, and it just makes music that much cooler. But, like, for me, I never took drum lessons. I totally just kind of sat down and just tried it out on my own. And I think that's one of the coolest things with our band, at least for me, the way I fit in, is that, like, it's the experience I've had of listening to so many different songs over the course of, I don't know, maybe 10 years. I mean, because I didn't really start getting into music until then, but I think that's just where it all came together for me, is that I could just, like, kind of not manipulate, but kind of just copy what I was hearing in my ear. So
Yeah, music definitely, I feel like, allows like me to tap into feelings that I can't express through, like, English. Like, I can't like express myself with English, English is overrated. But when we're up there and we're playing, we're like chugging along. That's, I don't know, that taps into something else that like I really like.
So were any of you guys classically trained musicians? Like you guys took musician classes and all that sort of thing?
I'm a BA in music major here.
I played viola in 4th grade, basically. Yeah, started that, reading music that way, and then took very structured, not whiplash level of intensity, but intense guitar teacher.
Sure.
That pushed me.
I want to say shout out to Marty Schwartz. Marty music.
Shout out to Marty Schwartz,
Marty
exactly.
Schwartz,
Yeah.
dude. That man taught me the guitar.
Marty Schwartz is the man.
He's the man. He's got a little hat and he's cool. I like him. Yeah. Hell yeah. And Brett Papa. Pop Stash Pop.
Yeah,
What up?
Please tell me about Piss Safari. Please tell me about the song.
Piss Safari. Oh shit.
Oh my God.
So we started
Wait,
practicing.
1 minute. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
Since we're talking about Piss Safari, you got a lot of peas. Can you
Oh,
hold
yeah.
it?
Got it. Okay, the Safari of Piss. We were basically trying to figure out. We started practicing this week, and we were like, "How are we gonna fill up an hour? Like, we're like, what are we gonna do?" And he just started playing something, and like,
This
goes back.
oh, it goes back to you guys. Oh, you guys should be telling us about this.
This song started in High Street originally, when we were just doing.
It was when we were trying intentionally just to make something sound like, well, not trying to make something sound shitty, but we took like a stupid riff, something that just sounded stupid, and then kind of had fun with it, and then it just kind of caught on.
It was like a snowball effect, and then once we kind of hit that other jam, that came out way after it. So like, and then it was just forcing it together, which ended up working.
Reed wanted to name it Safari, and me and Brunson are definitely a Metalocalypse people.
Oh yeah.
And Murderface has that album they wants to release called Planet Piss. So I was just like, Piss Safari. That's it.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's everything I've got written down. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do we start interviewing you now?
How much you make a year before tax?
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.